My mother-in-law threw my daughter's birthday cake in trash. She doesn't deserve a celebration, she said. My husband just watched. Tears filled my daughter's eyes. But then she smiled and said, Grandma, I made you a special video. She hit play on her tablet, and my mother-in-law turned white. My mother-in-law, Dolores, stood over the trash can holding my daughter's unicorn birthday cake like it was contaminated waste. The 3 layers of vanilla cake I'd spent hours decorating were about to meet coffee grounds and last night's leftovers. She doesn't deserve a celebration. She announced to everyone at my 7-year-old's party, the words cut through the happy birthday song we'd been singing just seconds before. My husband, Craig, just stood there, silent as always, his hands frozen mid-clap while our daughter Rosalie watched her grandmother destroy what was supposed to be the highlight of her special day. The other parents gasped. The children went quiet. But what happened next made Dolores wish she'd never stepped foot in our house. I'm Bethany, and I'm about to tell you how my 7-year-old daughter outsmarted the woman who'd been making our lives miserable for years. I'm 34 years old, an elementary school teacher who thought I understood kids pretty well, until my own daughter showed me what real courage looks like. My daughter, Rosalie, had just turned 7 that day. She's the kind of kid who names her stuffed animals after Supreme Court justices, and insists on reading the news with me every morning. Smart doesn't even begin to cover it. She has this way of observing everything while pretending to be absorbed in her coloring books or tablet games. Craig, my husband of 9 years, works as a software developer for a tech startup downtown. He's 36, brilliant with computers, terrible with confrontation. He's the guy who apologizes when someone else steps on his foot. I fell in love with his gentleness, but that same quality meant he never stood up to the one person who needed standing up to the most. That person was Dolores, age 62, retired bank manager and professional destroyer of joy. She had opinions about everything from how I folded fitted sheets to how many vegetables should be on Rosalie's plate. In her world, children should be seen, not heard, and definitely not celebrated unless they'd earned it through academic perfection and complete obedience. The birthday party was supposed to be simple: 3 kids from Rosalie's new school, their parents, US and Dolores, 12 people total in our Portland home with paper butterfly decorations and a homemade cake. But Dolores had other plans. She always had other plans. What she didn't know was that Rosalie had been planning something too for weeks. My daughter had been working on what she called her special project on her tablet. Every time I asked about it, she'd give me this little smile and say it was for school. Craig thought it was probably another one of her creative writing stories. We were both wrong. The moment Dolores dropped that cake in the trash, I saw something change in Rosalie's face. The tears were there, yes, but behind them was something else, a look I recognized from my own childhood. When I finally decided I'd had enough of being pushed around, she wiped her eyes, walked over to her tablet and said the words that would change everything. Grandma, I made you a special video. Want to see it? I should have known something was wrong. When Dolores arrived at Rosalie's birthday party carrying nothing but her oversized purse and that familiar look of disapproval, she walked through our front door at exactly 2 p.m. surveying our living room like a health inspector who'd already decided to fail the restaurant. No gift bag, no card, not even a half-hearted balloon from the dollar store. The morning had started so differently. Rosalie bounced into our bedroom at 6 a.m. wearing her favorite purple dress, the one with tiny silver stars that she'd picked out specially for today. Mommy, do you think Grandma Dolores will like my surprise? She asked, clutching her tablet against her chest like a treasure. For the past month, she'd been secretly working on something she called her appreciation project for school. Every time I walked into her room, she'd quickly minimize the screen and start playing some game about digital pets. I'm sure she'll love whatever you made, sweetheart, I told her, though the words felt heavy with doubt. Dolores hadn't loved anything we'd done in the 3 years since we'd moved to Portland for Craig's job. Our small craftsman house was transformed for the occasion. Rosalie and I had spent 3 evenings cutting and folding paper butterflies in every shade of purple and pink. We'd strung them from fishing line across the ceiling, and when the afternoon light hit them through the windows, they cast dancing shadows on the walls. The dining table wore my grandmother's lace tablecloth, and I'd set it with mismatched vintage plates I collected from estate sales and thrift stores. Each plate told a story, had a history, just like I wanted Rosalie to understand that imperfect things could still be beautiful. The centerpiece of it all was the cake. I'd stayed up until 2 a.m. the night before, carefully piping buttercream roses and sculpting a fondant unicorn with a rainbow mane, 3 layers of vanilla cake with straw. Very filling. Rosalie's favorite, she'd drawn me a picture of exactly what she wanted, down to the unicorns, pink hooves and golden horn. Remember when Grandma said unicorns are silly and I'm too old for them? Rosalie had asked while we were mixing the batter together 2 days earlier. I remember I said, letting her lick the spoon, I still want one. Maybe when she sees how pretty it is, she'll understand why I love them. That morning, Craig was conveniently busy in the garage, supposedly getting ice, but really just avoiding the pre-party preparations. He'd been doing that more lately, finding reasons to be elsewhere when his mother's visits loomed. His weekly calls with her had become exercises in deflection. Mom's just traditional, he'd say, after hanging up, rubbing his temples. She means well, but meaning well and doing well are 2 different things, and Dolores had been steadily chipping away at our family since the day Craig proposed to me, a teacher. She'd said when he told her my profession, well, I suppose someone has to do it, as if shaping young minds was equivalent to mopping floors. My parents lived across the country, in Boston, too far to make it for every birthday, but never too far to send love. They'd shipped a package that arrived 3 days early with strict instructions not to open until the big day. My sister Nadine was supposed to fly in from Chicago, but her flight got canceled due to storms. She'd FaceTime that morning, singing happy birthday while Rosalie ate her special birthday pancakes shaped like butterflies gave Dolores hell. Nadine had whispered to me when Rosalie ran off to get dressed, she's Craig's mother. I have to try. I whispered back, you've been trying for 9 years. Beth, when's he going to try?